Packaging. Magmatic animal? Attractive people. Go the labyrinth up. I'm basically heading toward the Ascension now. We might be able to do a few things here, but Ascension or bust, I guess.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
Also, keeping an eye out on opportunities to die. Cool. Can I buy something from you? I need to buy stat recovery items. +1 speed edge. Heal 6 points of speed. Yep, I'll take it. He'll take 1 too. Mental damage, light melee weapon, don't care, and not going to care. I'm going to buy some additional equipment too. There was at least one shop here. Don't recall what they were selling. I might want to sell some of the ciphers? Well, whatever. Yeah, ciphers. I need to get rid of the cipher sickness. I'll leave a couple that I have probably never gonna use, so I'm just gonna dump them. At least that'll give me a chance to store up any new ciphers we'll encounter. Without a doubt, they'll be more useful.
At last.
Escape. What do you know about the Memo Bureau? Okay. They say she runs this place from the fortress over there. I've never seen her though. Yeah, nothing useful. Talisman of the Gentle Hierophant, +1. Maximum effort +1 on all non-combat tasks. Clockwork Struts. +1 training level in Quick Fingers. 30% evasion. Yeah, this would be... Ooh, I don't have a weapon anymore.
Good balance.
This would be good for him. Assuming... Zooms a lot. We need to basically get a lot of other things before any of these make sense. Steel seed pod is gone. Also gravity bomb. We are 2. I'll get rid of the sack of molecular acid. I'm sure it's nice, but no. Okay. Could afford 1 extra. I'm not gonna buy anything. Just looking at our options. I'm thinking of buying the Panacea. We have some healing, but without Rin, we are sort of in a nasty place. Or even if we get Rin back, this would be still very useful. 30 points of full heal, especially with Rin. At the same time, we haven't really used ciphers at all, because we always have some other means of getting out of trouble.
Coming.
If you want a job done right.
Want to try one more thing. Want to go to the shrine here and see if we can offer some of our items. The shrine. I'm not sure I want to do it. I want to see if it's an option. Because I can't figure out a reason why we even have some of them. Why did you lose your arm? I didn't. She did. The Perspex, the insignificant one. What did she lose? Hidden by the blue. It was taken in her sleep. Cauterized at the elbow, just like... She stops herself, appearing confused. You were sure she was about to say mine. Just like the stories say. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can do anything. Okay. The world we're supposed to enter is some kind of crystalline world. They can do trades there, but they didn't mention a person. They mention an it. That basically, I think, looks through your equipment and picks what he wants to, or it wants, and makes the trade.
All right. Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna use the tongue cluster too, because I still have the bloom juice effect on me. Listen. Even after drinking the water of the bloom, you can't hear the voices clearly. You'll have to make a more direct connection to the tongue. Okay. Thrust your hand into the midst of the writhing tongues. They pass through it with a prickly sensation. Okay, with the water of the bloom coursing through your body, you can sense a difference between the voices here and the ones you heard at the mall. This particular tongue cluster has roots that extend throughout the chamber, and its whispers control their movements. Listen. Right.
At last.
Maybe it can be used to something else done.
Let's go.
You emerge from the portal into an alien world. The air is thin and bitterly cold. The sun is a tiny white globe in the sky, casting dim light over a landscape of crystalline beauty. You see no sign of organic life, only glittering crystals in every direction. Pity we had to go through the bloom to reach this view. Almost worth it though. Almost.
To action.
Of course.
Need to get to a... Okay, it looks like there's at least some type of structures here. Wonder what these crystals do. Are they all the same? Do I go up or down? I don't want to risk these yet.
Yes.
Let's go the normal path. The crystals seem to change when I go close to them.
Gladly. On my way. Sure enough. Yes.
Doran, Ascalar, and Explorers.
Yes.
Finally a new place. Where did you come from, stranger? The shelter is built from a variety of exotic materials, sin steel, pliable metals, and adamant silk. It looks like it's been here for a long time and has probably served many different groups of explorers. This tall, withered man nods to you. He holds himself stiffly, as if something will crack off if he moves too quickly. He glances at you two and smiles. Hello, Casta. I'm Doran, prophet of the changing god. It's been a while since we've seen anyone come through here. What's your business in the Ascension? I'm exploring. I don't want to say who sent me or why I'm here. Yeah, I understand. What else would bring anyone to this destitute place? Anything we can help you with, friend? What does it mean that you're a prophet of the changing god? A title only, he says, bowing his head in momentary respect. The cultists of the changing god believe I have a special connection because I found some well-hidden secrets of your father's ones. Between you and me, I just got lucky. So what did you find? He waved it off modestly. Nothing that would interest you. An old workshop of his with some trinkets. Didn't understand any of it, but the cultists were ecstatic. They drafted me as a prophet and confiscated everything. Well, he winks. Everything I didn't sell first. Fair compensation for my efforts, you know. Are you related to the cult of the changing god in Sega's Cliffs? We are cultists of the changing god, yes, though I'm afraid we have little to do with our colleagues in Sega's Cliffs. There is not a lot of oversight between our churches. So, what are you doing in Ascension? Seeking. We have it on good, though possibly outdated authority, that this place holds more of your father's secrets. We found nothing yet, however. Till we do, we are enjoying the sights and the silence, crystals and the lights. Our pursuits have taken us to less pleasant places. Tell me about the place. There are crystals, there are lights. There is no one to talk to and very little value to find. It's a lovely world, but I fear we may be wasting our time here. Are you sure you can't tell me anything? There's little to tell. It's a beautiful place, but devoid of life. I got the intention it's devoid of human type life, but it's clearly the crystals seem to be reacting and the lights within. I think there's life there. Ooh, that looks promising. This tall, lithe man has an unkempt shock of bright red hair. His skin is ashen as if colored by the dust of old tomes. It's been a long time since he's seen a real sun. His smile is thin and twitching, and a demented light burns in his eyes. Another cast out. Another echo. Who are you? Ascalarian. He says the name proudly, as if you should have heard of him. I act. He falls silent, his eyes glittering with contempt. What do you mean, you act? The prophet Doran hears, he says, nodding to the man standing nearby, and depending on what he hears, I act. He eyes you, fingers curling at his side. So, you do what Doran says? He didn't say that. No, I act on his words. I'm gonna let it go. Sounds awful lot like taking orders, but no, it doesn't. Not at all. More like if you hear a weather forecast, you're not taking orders from the weather forecast. You're basically reacting based on that information. You still make your own decisions. There's no chain of command implied. Can you tell me anything about Ascension? I can't, but I won't. The Prophet Doran will decide what you are allowed to know. Echo. So why did you call me an echo? The strong are those who act, he says, closing his eyes as if quoting from memory. They change the world, break the sky with their thunder. And then there is the echo, a weak imitation of the source's fury, claiming to be more important than it is. Cast-offs are echoes of him, and deserve none of his glory. So I think the prophet knows something, but he's not willing to share information. So they don't revere cast-offs, they just revere their changing god. See cast-offs as secondary at the very least. Hmm. I claim no more importance than I deserve. He chuckles. It's always the same with you and your kind, stumbling around in your father's footprints, clamoring to be noticed. He folds his narrow arms. Your father doesn't shout to be heard. He is, and the world bends itself around him. You think all cast-offs are echoes of the changing god? What are you, then? A man like him. A man of action. I see. He has to be... these are very likely hostile. So.
Ready. Gladly.
These are the life forms of this place. This massive crystalline structure looks like a shrine of some sort. Colored lights float about inside, each one like a tiny galaxy trapped within the crystal. As you approach, the crystal begins to hum. The resonations shake your skull. Humming shifts and increases until you hear a voice. Rebel. The bright voice echoes directly in your mind. It stutters, uncertain, like someone trying to remember how to speak. Greetings, Patterned One. I'm the speaker. Welcome to the Ascension of Kex Lianish. I am sorry, but the Oracle no longer exists. The lights pulse once, then a much deeper voice emanates from the crystal. Revelation. The Oracle was immortal. Time was the weapon that killed her. Something clicks or cracks within the crystal, and it speaks with a bright voice again. I regret that without the Oracle, I will have very few answers for you, but I will do what I can. Do you know anything about the other humans over there, Doran and his companions? I do not, nor do they know anything about me. I will not speak with them. Its answer is surprisingly curt. Why? Lights inside the crystal dim slightly. I do not trust them. They don't taste right. You hear a sound in your mind remarkably like a clucking tongue. I cannot explain it. Revelation. The speaker tastes a strange pattern to one of the humans. Two patterns of thought where there should be one. Okay. Why did you call me Patterned One? The few of the lights pull together, creating a glowing circle in the air. No, not a circle, a pentagon like your tattoo. Patterns are what we do, Patterned One. Life is a pattern, and your life more than most. Your thoughts hold a certain shape, a shape I've seen before. Lights swirl and chime wistfully. A man came through here long ago. He did some work here, I believe, or maybe he came to hide something or find something. He never revealed to me his true purpose. The man who shares my pattern. I need to find something he hid. Do you know where it might be? I apologize, but I do not. Investigation was not my specialization, only speaking. Crystal vibrates once, then the deep voice speaks.
Revelation. The speaker can speak to all sentients, even those that did not exist at the time of its creation.
You said revelation in a different voice. What does that mean?
You are mistaken. Speakers are not authorized to grant revelations without the Oracle's permission, and the Oracle is no more.
You hear another crack from deep within the crystal, as harsh as ice breaking underfoot. The deep voice speaks again.
Revelation. The speaker cannot hear itself give revelations.
Stutters and falls silent for a moment before saying in a bright voice,
I wish that I did have some revelations for you, Patterned One. Alas, that time is long past.
So, can you read my thoughts?
No, but I can taste them, among other things. That's how I know to speak in your language.
What was the oracle?
You are standing on it, or rather what remains of it. The Kex Leonish built the oracle to answer the most difficult questions of existence.
Voice grows wistful.
Then the Leonish left. The oracle remained for 100,000 years or so, before it broke down, I suppose. All that's left of the oracle are the Fobbits.
Several sharp clacks resound within the crystal. The deeper voice says,
Revelation. The Fobbits were not always sentient. Cogitation. Would they have become so if the Oracle had not chosen disintegration?
What happened to the Leonish?
I do not know. They left one day, abandoning the Ascension entirely. Perhaps they ascended to a higher form of life. In any case, they did not need the Oracle anymore.
Tell me about Fobbits. The lights dance within the crystal in a manner you can only interpret as proud.
We are the Fobbits, the sparkling lights you see inside some of the crystals. If the Oracle was a brain, then we are its neurons. Each one of us had our own job, our own specialization. You can't speak to the others, of course. That is to say, they're perfectly intelligent, but they are entirely unaware of you. The only reason you and I can speak is because of my role as speaker. Others weren't made for communication or perception.
The speaker throbs. The deep voice cuts into the air.
Revelation. Common Fobbits were used to store activation states and simple information. Some may still react to basic physical stimuli.
Well, if the other Fobbits are sentient, then could you speak to them for me, or at least make them aware of my presence?
Of course, but they know nothing. I don't see what interpreting would...
The speaker trails off, holding thoughtfully.
No, there is a way they can help. Several Fobbits in the area were in charge of transmission tracts, communication pathways connecting the Oracle's smaller subsystems. When the Oracle passed, those pathways become obsolete, and their Fobbits quiescent. But those tracks could serve as bridges to help you explore the area.
A deep voice booms.
Revelation. Like humans, the Leonish also required physical structure for traversal. Only a few Fobbits specialize in areas requiring this knowledge. The speaker is not among them.
The speaker's bright voice returns.
Try to interact with the Fobbits. When you do, I'll ask them to activate or deactivate. They may not all be as helpful as we'd like, but I think you'll figure some way to get around.
Okay, what does it mean that you're the speaker? We know it, but it might open something new.
My full title was once the speaker for the Oracle of Kex Leonish.
It says the name with soft reverence.
I hear questions from pilgrims, relate them to the Oracle, and then convey the Oracle's answer by revelation. I gave wisdom to the entire world.
Crystal's light dims.
Now I speak for no one, and I have a few answers to give.
Deeper voice speaks again.
Revelation. When the speaker dreams, it dreams of weeping sometimes. The tears are made of light, others are tiny black gems.
Okay, very well. So at least we have an advantage over the cultists here. We know things they don't. But they're going to ambush us at some point, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. Which means Tiber could use some more speed points. But depending on how good they are,
Why, of
fights
course.
haven't exactly been hard in this game. Yeah, but the game has also been patched, and it directly mentioned that rebalancing fights, at least certain ones. So who knows. Warm radiates from this device, providing relief from the frigid air. It could be the equivalent of a campfire, or it could have some other long-forgotten purpose, or both. Seems like an odd shape for a campfire type of anatomy.
Of course.
Restore might. Patience everlasting. The polished pearlescent surface of this crystal shimmers, a faint glow illuminating it from within. When touched by another object, a seemingly random color blooms from the point of contact, with the potential for it to overtake all of the crystal's hue. Pressing another object before the change is complete summons another color, and when the two meet they blend into a third. The crystal will eventually turns black, resisting all further change until reset to an opaque shade of ivory. Okay.
Yes.
Shins. This seems like the central thing here. The builder, the speaker. Might as well
Let's
try
go.
it. It's not exactly a cube. It's not that way shape at the bottom. Even as it floats weightless in the air, the megalith bespeaks adamantine heft, perhaps because of its contrast with the surrounding crystals. The stone bleeds need, even hunger, and a telepathic whisper rasps the thoughts, product, in your mind. Study the megalith. Although from a distance it seems to be a single stone, up close you can see that it is covered in many small scales, each inscribed with a different pattern, whorls and loops and arches as distinct as those of fingerprints. Whether it is a mechanical construct, a living being, or something else entirely is unclear. Smashing. Pull off a scale. Ooh. No. Okay, what do you want?
Product I only, no other. Give, I only return happy bubbles.
What product? Product, okay. So leave it alone for now. I think we have to go to the builder maybe. Produce stuff there? I don't know.
I am the very soul of action.
Let's look at our options.
Happy to help.
Fine.
I am the very soul of action.
Go.
Yay!
Of course.
Ooh.
Ready.
So what are you? This crystalline structure is distinct from all the others. It looks older, more fundamental, but by no means basic. It is one of the more complex structures you've seen in this place. Large portions of it glow, emitting a low, rumbling hum that you can feel in your chest. Blurry lights flit across the surface of its largest gems. Are you a puppet? A wave of force pulses out from the crystalline structure. Your body shudders with the impact, even though you can hear nothing. Can you speak? The crystals release another single pulse, jolting your body. You get the strong impression that the pulse means yes. This puppet is not like any other you've seen. May not have the communicative qualities of the speaker, but it is trying to talk to you nonetheless. What is your function? The, the glow dims slightly and the blurry lights of the gem surfaces disappear. You realize they weren't lights at all, but images of the puppet was trying to show you. When they reappear, they show a flat crystalline plane. Then, one by one, shards emerge. They bud and sprout in the shape of other puppets. As you watch, they continue growing, creating ridges, walkways, stairs. In one corner you see the speaker flower out of the crystal. In a matter of seconds, the entire region of the Ascension has taken shape in the image before you. This puppet filled it all. I'm looking for a circlet of dark hyaline material, the magmatic amulet. Have you seen it? The large crystal pulses once. An image appears of a human figure walking through the Ascension into a cave. The details are too fuzzy to make out who it is, but presumably he has the amulet. After a while he leaves the cave. The image moves quickly then, crystals growing and shrinking as time passes. Suddenly the entire image shakes and the cave entrance is gone. When the cave entrance closes, it doesn't look like a simple collapse. Crystals grow up from the ground, as if they're intentionally blocking the way inside. You close the cave. Can you open it again for me? The light within the crystal freezes in place, and the humming of the puppet ceases. It stays motionless for some time. Finally, you feel the single pulse of force through your body. Yes. You feel the ground rumble under your feet. After a few moments, the vibrations cease, and the puppet shows you an image of the cave. The crystals that block the entrance are gone. Why did you close the cave? Light dims for a moment, and an ominous pulse shudders through your body. An image appears of some kind of multi-legged clawed creature you've never seen before. Oh, fuck. You feel two quick pulses through your body, and the crystal structure goes still.
All right.
I wonder if we can get the cultists to go there first.
I am the very soul of action. Why, of course.
Don't mind if I do. Yes.
Booms.
On my way. I'm going.
Action. Here I
Okay, I'm expecting trouble here. Now, I fully think the followers here are gonna fuck me over.
Naturally.
And we know there's some kind of monstrosity waiting for us, so maybe we can get them to fight each other first, and I can basically sweep up the remains.
All right.
I don't know if these are basically gonna fuck me over. I want to talk about the puppets to these guys.
On it.
Do I want to even talk about it? What I basically think is that no, I was thinking that we basically have to come here, so they're gonna ambush me at that point if I have whatever I picked up. I think I'll ask about magmatic amulet. Have you seen anything like that? He raises his eyebrows.
Now that is interesting business. Sadly, I cannot help you. You see nothing but pretty lights. To be honest, I think that's all there is in this place.
Yeah,
Ready.
they're fucking me over.
Yes.
They have to be fairly good to pull it off, though. I'm also looking for excuses to use my ciphers at this point,
Yes.
but so if it comes to that, I'm sure I'll be fine. So Horde must. Well, it didn't say that it's necessarily a hostile monster, but there were bones there and everything. This machine is similar to the one next to it, but doesn't seem to any sort of interface panel. Pick a direction.
Here I come.
All right.
Yeah, the music is a little bit ominous here.
Of course.
Absolutely. Why, of course.
Just a little bit.
I'm
So
ready.
what kind of death claw do they have waiting for me? Tinker's Cap. Intellect Edge. Damage per effort. Negative on pull. So maybe, yeah, basically more intellect. It's the one thing I don't really feel I need. Might be better on someone else, but they'll take negative, so I don't think so. I really could use more concentration.
At last.
Force field. Impenetrable field of energy. A puppet appears to be trapped in the central crystal. It flickers excitedly.
On it.
This device seems to be the source of the low hum that permeates the cavern. It's receiving power through the cables from the two large machines to the wall. We probably need to shut it down from this side somehow.
Naturally.
Where's the monster? Yeah, they've probably trapped multiples at least at some point.
I'm going.
All the cables in the room connect to this bulky machine and its twin. They generate a low rumble that you can feel in your feet. As you approach, a screen lights up. A strange maze-like rune flashes angrily in the center of the screen. 3 other glyphs revolve slowly around it in an elliptical orbit. A bolt of lightning, a set of parallel lines, and a circle. Destroy the machine. Uh, I'm assuming the bolt of lightning means power. Parallel lines, that would be, I would say, maybe options? Circular glyph? I'm not quite sure. Flashing maze like a rune. Don't do anything yet. I want to see this.
Yes.
Stasis pod is dull and lifeless. There is no visible way to activate it.
Why not?
Touch the glyph with flashing maze-like rune. Although seems to be that's where your attention needs to go now. So maze-like rune. The picture appears. It looks like a technical schematic of the device behind you. At the center of the room, the source of the low hum. Vertical lines of runes appear next to the schematic, but you can't read them. This has to succeed. Although you can't read the runes, the gist of the message becomes clear. It is a warning about the device with the two crystals at the center of the chamber. The device has deteriorated to an unstable state, and any fluctuation in power is likely to result in an interruption in function. The runes do not say what will happen if the device ceases function, or if they do, you cannot decipher it. So don't touch the power button yet. That could be the equivalent of just mashing things. Touch the parallel lines. An image appears of the pod in the far corner of the room. The image of the pod is dim. A circular symbol sits next to the image. Okay. Both the symbol and the pod light up on the screen. The circular symbol pulses in time with odd symbols that march into the image of the pod itself. The far corner of the room, few new noises indicate that the pod is now receiving power. So,
Ready.
what good is that gonna do?
All right.
Rings of energy pulse through around the stasis pod. There appears to be nothing inside it, but a control interface hovers a few centimeters off the surface of one of the end of the pods. Maybe there's something inside, a cipher or something. Surprisingly, the words on the interface are written in the truth, and you can understand them. There are several options, but most of them are dimmed out. The only two functions options are status check and access data. Check status. A picture of the pod appears. The lid on the image is closed and flashing red. Several other places on the image of the pod flash red as well. The text says, Stasis pod empty. Error. Self-diagnostic failed. Cannot open stasis pod. Primary functions offline. Data integrity 67%. Access data. A list of records appear. Several of them are crossed out with the word corrupted next to the name. Most of the functioning records are mundane, like system integrity results or list of lab equipment, but there are a number of functioning dated records labeled experiment notes. First, an unfamiliar male voice reverberates through the room. Preliminary investigation suggests that Mazov was correct. The crystals of the Ascension bear the properties we require to complete the resonance chamber. The amulet provided invaluable in reaching this place and may have other uses besides, so it will be some time before I could return it to Dragaton. Much more experimentation is required before I can know for certain whether the Ascension holds what I see. The secretions of the crystal boar are one of the few substances I've found that can eat through the living crystal of the Ascension. I have had several larvae brought here for the purposes.
Dragogen exudes patience with the regard of the amulet, but I have dealt with other Dragogens before. He will only remain patient for so long before he decides I have cheated him. No matter, I fear the sorrow more than I fear them. Ah, so Dragogen is them. Third. I have several experiments running simultaneously while I wait for the crystal to grow. True to their name, the crystal boars have proven quite adaptable at this environment and invaluable to this part of the process. The Ascension natives may prove useful as well. I had ignored them initially, for although their speaker is capable of cogent communication, it has proven useless in providing any real information. However, I have since seen other natives accomplishing more remarkable feats with the crystal itself, so I captured one for study. We shall see if there's more I can learn from it. Several of the crystal boar larvae hatched prematurely and escaped. It's unclear how it happened, but I suspect that someone came looking for the amulet while I was buying supplies in Segas. No doubt they tampered with my machines in their effort to find it. To prevent further sabotage, I have placed the amulet and the remaining larvae behind an energy field. The power generator can open the field, but it now requires a passcode sequence to ensure there's no further tampering. I'm not foolish enough to record that sequence here, but should something happen to me such that I forget, the three geodesics through the Berry Center are the key. The voice says nothing more. If that was supposed to be a hint, its meaning is unclear. Perhaps it would make more sense when looking at the power generator itself. Three geodesics through the Berry Center are the key. Well, I don't know what geodesics are or Berry Center, so this makes interpreting things a little bit difficult, but the only thing that says three of is these. Nothing, energy, nothing. Access to the field. The escaped crystal boars are growing and breeding. They now constitute a serious threat to my work. I built a device to emit sound waves at a very specific frequency, lulling the creatures into dormancy. So far it appears to be an effective countermeasure, but I shall have to keep careful watch to be sure. Must also make sure that the power generator does not experience any interruptions lest they wake again. So if we get things wrong, we'll just have to fight. If we are smart, and we'll get through without any problems. Voice speaks between ragged breaths. This will be my last entry. Dragogen's patience has worn thin, as I knew it would. His agents are outside and will no doubt break through my defenses momentarily. If they do, I will have to abandon this body. I don't know when I'll be able to return, but The voice cuts. There is no more to this entry. The voice on this entry is the same as the other entries, but it has none of the confidence from before. I don't know what's happening. I woke in this cave, surrounded by angry men demanded something called an amulet. I don't know what it is, but they attacked me. I don't know what to do, so I fought back. I killed them. The blood, it's everywhere. Some of it is mine, but most of it... I found these notes afterwards when I was trying to figure out what was happening to me. I couldn't figure out how to retrieve the amulet, but those men were sent by someone called Dragogen. I don't know what any of this means. I'm going to find out, but I'm leaving this message in case I don't make it back. I don't know who will listen, but... well, I figured I should leave something of me in here, somewhere, in case I don't get very far. Where did you leave something of yours?
Does it mean the pod? Is there anything that I missed?
Don't mind if I do.
The puppet appears to be trapped in the central crystal. It clickers excitedly. Okay. We can fuck
Go.
things up or we can succeed. Okay. Try to figure out the key to unlocking the force field from the clues. So basically, what was the circular glyph? Parallel lines was the... yeah, what's the circular? An image appears depicting a humming device in the center of the room, the one with two crystals. Symbols flow into the image showing that the device is currently receiving power from the machine before you. The circular symbol pulses each time the symbol flows into the image. Pressing it would likely cut the flow of power to the crystals, causing the humming to cease. The circular system is outlined in red, suggesting that the function of this device is particularly important. Right. Try to figure out what it means. It shouldn't be hard for us. The three geodesics throughout the very center of are the key. Watching the glyphs revolve around the central room, the meaning suddenly... okay, yeah, it's something here. The meaning suddenly becomes clear. The symbols increase and decrease in size as they move around the room, traveling more quickly when they become close to it and slower when they are further away. They aren't revolving, they are orbiting, and the rune is the very center. The definition of geodesic rises from the depths of your mind as well. It means a great circle track, the shortest line between 2 points on a sphere. On a hunch, you draw a line from each of the 3 symbols to the others, curving the line through the rune in the center. The symbols stop orbiting. Lines appear where your finger drags across the interface. Soon you have 3 curved lines connecting each of the symbols, 3 geodesics, through the same barycenter. The interface disappears, replaced by an image of some kind of field projector. Triumphant, you cut the power to the projector. Across the cavern, the force field deactivates. And didn't have to deal with crystal whatchamacalls.
On it. Don't mind if I do.
Hero's Fury. 36 points of energy damage and confers haste and Hero's Fury. And energy damage per turn. Active the entire crisis. Holy shit. This thin short length of a bright silken string is innocuous, but when wrapped between the hands it starts generating its own heat and energy, eventually uncoiling into a whip of a dark red crackling energy. When it strikes an enemy, it tightly constricts itself around the target. So it basically does a huge amount of damage for the entire crisis. Short range, 1 enemy. This is very powerful. Who gets it? I don't even recall who has the chance to get it. Just take it.
On it.
Devouring Shell. Confers shell armor. Plus 20 armor. Active of fire rounds. Yeah, we seem to be getting equipment for useful against boss fights.
Ciphers are killing me.
-2 intellect pool. Yeah, you can take this.
Drop the ciphers, Eridus. Drop them.
Of course.
Nestled among the crystal formation is a steel pod. Cables pass in and out of the pod, glowing with energy. So as soon as you are within arm's reach, a shining interface materializes in the air between you and the pod. There are a few strange symbols arranged in a circle around a filigreed pentagon similar to the tattoo on your head. Touch the symbols around the filigree pentagon. Place the hand on the pentagon. Touch your tattoo on the center of the symbol. I'm not quite sure what they want me to do. Touch the symbols. Nothing happens. Place the hand on the pentagon. Nothing. Yeah, tattoo. As you draw closer, the filigreed pentagon glows more brightly. Your head becomes warm, but not uncomfortably so. When it touches the light, you feel a small amount of energy flow out from you. The cables on the pod pulse quickly, and the top of the chamber opens with a hiss. The only item inside is a hyaline circlet, as black as the sky behind the stars. The magmatic amulet. You remove it from the pod and take it with you. This crystalline circlet is as black as the sky behind the stars. It twists and curls in eye-bending patterns, emanating power as if absorbing and snaring the realities of the world.
Making a note.
The chamber hisses shut, and the interface vanishes. Yay? We're basically done with this.
If you
Now
want
it's
a
a
job
matter
done
of...
right.
Can't release that one for some reason. I'm sort of thinking maybe we should force a fight here. We could get rid of the bowls. We might be able to also get something out of this.
If you want a
I'm
job
going
done
to
right.
shut the power to that one. Yep. Cut the power to the pod. I mean, we got the information. I wonder if I can see the pod again. Right.
Yes. Now.
Maybe I can activate the force field. There's no point to it though. But there were some remains. Are the vole eggs still here? I didn't find them. It doesn't particularly matter.
Coming.
As long as they stay dormant. I still think we're likely going to end up in a fight.
I am the very soul of action. Happy to help. Here comes
There's
the
something
Torment
I'm
Slayer.
missing. I'm missing it. Maybe if you have to fight, you can get something out of it. Something reveals itself. It has been here for a long time, so yeah. Maybe the voles or whatever they are can basically are going to reveal something that was hidden here once upon a time. I don't know. I don't want to fight them. It would be very out of character for my character to fight for fighting's sake. It might be useful and interesting, but not what we're here for.
Let's go.
Yeah. They don't want me to get out.
All right. Ready. All right.
Don't mind if I do.
Let's go.
What can I do with this? The only thing I seem to be able to do is pull up scale. Stone flows. Okay. What product? The only response is the thought product creating in your mind. I'm gonna pull off a scale if nothing else happens, but I want to go to this encounter
On my
first and
way.
see what it is. Likely a crisis without a doubt, but maybe something more.
Naturally.
Thorn bars your path with a slight, confident smile. It's a whisper lock.
Greetings again, Castle. Whatever you did in that cave has caught the changing god's attention. He knows you're here now, and he has asked me to destroy your mind. Do not resist.
Suddenly his pupils slide out of view, not up, but sideways, as abruptly as if they've been slapped.
Yes, of course, it won't be long now.
Pupils return from the opposite side. You said you weren't really a prophet.
I lied. Your father speaks to me.
He says, pointing at a tiny device at the base of his skull, too small to have noticed before.
He has told me that he has need of your body, and I have learned over the years to trust what he says.
A hint of sorrow touches his eyes.
It's time to return to your father. It's time to return your father's property, Kasab.
When did the changing god start speaking to you?
Years ago.
Doran says simply, taps the base of his skull.
Ever since his device attached itself to me while I was exploring one of his abandoned laboratories. He has asked me to tell you that the erasure of your mind will not hurt. He will simply notch your mind into oblivion and take its place.
Doran bows his head.
He will be amongst us at last, thanks to you.
What is that device anyway?
One of his mouthpieces,
He says, brow furrowing. Apparently he had assumed that this was common knowledge among cast-offs. Smiling, he takes his head in self-deprecating amusement.
I picked this relic up, examined it, and discarded it. But then it shot up from the ground and chose me, claimed me. Your father has spoken to me ever since.
The changing god is using you. That's what he does. You know shit. How would this erasure proceed?
Simply,
He says, drawing himself further up.
just bow your head, and your father's mouthpiece will leave me temporarily to bond with you. You will close your eyes, and it will be done. It must be exhausting,
He says, compassion in every line of his face.
must be impossible, knowing that your every breath is borrowed, that your discoveries do not ultimately belong to you, and that your only marks on the world will be the ones he does not wipe away.
He clasps his hands.
Thankfully, we are here to take that burden from you. It is time to sleep, Kastav. It's time to surrender.
The changing god is trapped in my mind, though. How can he be speaking to you? He looks confused for a moment.
In your mind? I don't...
He raises a hand to his head.
Ah, it seems he is in your mind. But maybe you've forgotten who we're talking about. The changing god has been alive for centuries, maybe more. He would never let himself be trapped or rendered helpless. He's never powerless. I'm proof of that.
Yep. I'll give you one chance to run, dude. Just one. Just be smart. I don't think he'll run. Oh, why string? But maybe some of his allies might. His complacency drains into the face of your threat. His eyes pop open wide. His hands fly instinctively to his ears as though someone were shouting at him.
I'm sorry. This was a mistake. I'm not strong enough. I don't want to.
I think I'm ready to try something new.
His head exploded. Okay. There's a high-pitched keening. Thorin clutches the device at the back of his skull as though it were hurting him. He groans, swaying. With a sucky crumb, his head bursts. With a single horrified glance at the fallen prophet, his followers flee. Oh, that was wonderful.
Of course.
I did not expect that. Yeah, 3 items. It's a basic weapon. Oh no, slug spitter. It's an improved range weapon for him. Gauntlet of Murder. This deep black metal gauntlet twinkles like the stars in the night sky. If you listen closely, a hum can be heard emanating from the glove. We're definitely using that. Ossified trifolium. This 3-leafed plant is black as pitch and hard as stone when held. When pressed against an article of clothing, the stem extends and insinuates itself into the fabric. When the leaves are brushed, the wearer sees a vision of a young auburn-haired girl embracing a dark-haired boy before turning away, followed by a wave of visible intense longing from the boy before fading. Okay. This deep black metal gauntlet twinkles like the stars in the night sky. A hum emanates from its surface. When you touch the metal, images flash through your mind, too quickly for you to make sense of them. Examine the gauntlet. The metal it's made from is not iron or steel, but something more fantastic than the metals of the ninth world. Otherwise, it appears to be a normal gauntlet. You notice a cross of dried blood around the inside. You recall a story linked to a gauntlet that was involved in a string of mysterious murders. Each victim was seen sporting a single black gauntlet for a while, and then later found dead, strangled and missing a hand. A group called the God Club, or something along those lines, was mixed up with it. Anyone who wears the gauntlet is overwhelmed with a sudden excruciating pain, as the gauntlet actually consumes the hand and takes its place. Some victims find they cannot remove the gauntlet, others can, but when they take it off, there is nothing but a stump underneath. Replacing the gauntlet over the stump causes it to reattach and function fully as the old hand. Pay close attention to the images. You place your hand on the gauntlet again, focusing your mind on the images it gives you. They're quick, just vague impressions of the gauntlet's previous wearers. You see a shadow in the dark, the gauntlet holding a barbed knife in one hand, then pouncing on his victim. A woman puts the gauntlet on her hand and screams. Vargillen fights against a mob of 7, the gauntlet wielding a wicked mace, just before he dies. Leave it alone. I'm not that interested in what it does.
All right. I'm ready.
Still, we're pulling off a scale, so I can't think of anything else to do with this. Digging your fingers deep under the scale, you rip and tug with all your strength. At last the scale snaps off, revealing a tube-like fistula leading into the megalith's interior. As a small object rolls out of the tube, your mind explodes with the megalith's outrage.
No, bad hatchling, no bubbles.
Then its thoughts fall silent. Floating megalith you encountered in the Ascension spat out this random collection of crystals. They appear similar in nature to Ascension crystals, but they have no apparent function. You should be able to sell them for some reason. The other scales press more tightly against the megalith, and a thin oily coating seeps over them. No more prying will be possible.
Of course.
Yeah, we lost the opportunity to do whatever we came to do.
Gladly.
Well, shit happens.
Here comes the Boredom Slayer.
Ready.
No, shit happened to him. That's shit happening. That was just a curiosity for me. Well, that's inconvenient. Looks like we're taking the long way back, whatever that is. Yeah, we can't go back. We can't go there. I suppose we'll have to go the hanging route. Ah, crap. Increase that pools. Do I want increased edge? Extra effort might not be a bad idea. We don't really have skills I care about. Don't have abilities I care about, so extra effort. Huh. No. Quick fingers, not a bad one. We have to use this quite often. Extra effort. And I'll end things here. So whatever we need to do, tongue cluster stands.